change is it that you're talking about?
ChangeNOW is a crypto management platform that services both businesses as well as individuals.
But what are the type of projects do you see potential into in the times to come?
Bitcoin has already occupied a certain niche on the market.
Currency and stablecoin, I think, still the stablecoins are backed by the currencies. So they are bound by the currency. Hello everyone, good afternoon once again. This is Sudeep reporting live from CoinGabbar, and this stage is on fire here. TOKEN2049 has been an absolute fantastic event. Probably the biggest I have ever seen in 5 years of my career with crypto. Like 25k plus attendees, the roads extending across the length and breadth of the mall. I mean, nobody even could get here without a check. So things are like that. But things said and done. I'm joined by Paulina from ChangeNOW. Yeah, change is it that you're talking about?
All right. Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me. My name is Pauline, and I'm Chief Strategy Officer from ChangeNOW. And ChangeNOW is a crypto management platform that services both businesses as well as individuals who need to have their money managed. We started out back in 2018 as a crypto exchange service, and we have basically grown into, within the 8 years we've been in the market, we've grown into at least 4 separate businesses which service the likes of Bitcoin.com, Exodus, Trust Wallet, Binance, Kraken, Elliptic. We used to work with CoinSwitch for quite a while.
Before it pivoted?
Yes. Before it pivoted, their staff, we still maintain a very good relationship. So I'm super excited to be a token. The event is huge. Actually, this is pretty much the biggest event I've ever been to, because during COVID, we didn't really travel much. And we are very excited about the APAC market because everybody's finally opening up to crypto. We see quite a lot of adoption of crypto into retail. Again, this is the good times.
Frankly speaking, past 1 year has been a really good time when we talk about the crypto industry.
Yes.
Not just because Donald Trump got elected as the president of US and that's how the wave started. But much before that, the corrections stopped. People started believing in the concept of crypto ecosystem. People started believing in Bitcoin. And that's when the things started rolling in the positive direction. But if we talk about not just Bitcoin, since you are catering to a very large crypto asset base, what other kind of projects do you see? I'm not talking about coins because that will be biased or tokens, but what are the type of projects do you see potential into in the times to come?
Honestly, I am very much not a Bitcoin maxi. I do believe in Bitcoin as an investment asset class, but not really much else. And yes, the current cycle was very much influenced by the election of Donald Trump. But at the moment, I think Bitcoin has already occupied a certain niche on the market where treasury companies are accumulating it, and that's what's probably going to be holding the price at a fairly stable level, which is just going to go up depending on how many companies buy more Bitcoin and more of it. Right now, I think what's really powerful about the crypto market is going to be the power of retail, and those are going to be stablecoins. I'm pretty sure you've heard quite a lot of opinions about stablecoins, but I have seen many practical cases of people very far outside of Web3 who have never interacted with crypto before needing stablecoins and stablecoin payments. And this is what we've been actually helping businesses do, accepting payments and stablecoins through our payment system, Now Payments, which works with such giants as Pornhub, Travala, a couple of really big businesses that are under NDA because they didn't want to disclose. We're in talks with Emirates, we're in talks with Emaar in the United Emirates. And honestly, the more people are migrating across the world the less they're going to be relying on fiat. Stablecoins is pretty much the perfect solution for those people. And if we're talking about institutionals, obviously, not so long ago, Visa Direct actually introduced like a stablecoin solution, which would allow big companies to move money overseas.
That's fair.
This is what we're working on with Now Payments as well, because we're honestly like a lot more flexible than Visa. So we support USDT and USDC on a lot more chains. Pretty much got the widest selection of chains that we support stablecoins on.
Currency is just, people say a lot of things about currencies, but being a student of economics, I've always seen that currencies are controlled by the government, especially with the closed economies. Like if you talk about China, they decide the value of their currency, pegging against USD and things. We have seen this in India as well before 84. And I think after liberalization in 91, 92, that is when the currencies started getting free. They became like partly convertible, then totally convertible. So that is the rule. But currency and stablecoin, I think still, stablecoins are backed by the currencies. So they are bound by the currencies. One more asset that is coming up big time in the ecosystem is the real world asset tokenization. In land, in vegetation, in bullion especially physically backed by bullion, I mean gold and things. So what is your perspective and understanding about the real world assets being a storehouse of value?
If we're talking about real world assets, allowing people access to traditional markets, especially those people who don't really have access, for example, in like sanctioned countries.
Like, I mean, I'll just put things to perspective that if I want to invest in lithium, I cannot. But in a tokenized format, I see lithium as the next big thing I can invest.
Exactly. However, I do believe that the RWA sector is still fairly young. And I do believe that we need quite a bit of regulation before something happens. Because again, during traditional markets, the companies that are being traded on, for example, like NASDAQ, they are liable to their stakeholders, and they are protected by governments, by exchanges, like the Securities and Exchange.
Dominated, not just protected.
Yes. I mean, the SEC doesn't just like sit around twiddling their fingers, right? And when it comes to RWAs, we simply don't have those types of protection because we're on the blockchain, which perhaps doesn't even allow these types of protections to exist. So this makes RWAs a much more risky asset to trade and to hold. So I personally would like to, I do think that there is potential. I do think that the concept of RWAs is really good. However, I do think that we need like a MICA, but for RWAs, that would kind of...
The reserves need to be proved. Otherwise, you can just be dealing in paper commodities with nothing to back the reserve up.
Yes, exactly. So I'd give it like a year or two for RWAs to kind of stand on their feet and perhaps become more reliable for people to, I guess you can trade our RWAs, it's fine, right? Because the period of holding RWAs is going to be shorter. So there's kind of less chance to be scammed in the long term, right? But I wouldn't, at least for now, I wouldn't treat them as like a full-fledged, more or less legitimate.
Until at least a basic set of regulations come.
Yes.
Either regulations from the government or maybe self-regulated organizations.
Could be either. My main concern is that if you, for example, there is a project that deals with lithium, and they say that they have all of these lithium bullions and stuff like that, and at some point, like you're trading it on the internet, you haven't actually seen all of those like stockpiles of lithium or gold or silver, whatever, right? You can't really, like, they can post pictures. Those might be AI generated, absolutely. There's no document, like legal document, that would prove that the tokens that you're holding...
Except for treasury bonds.
Yes. So, I mean, if you've got like RWA treasuries that are buying RWAs and then offering treasury bonds, whether long-term or short-term, I guess that will work. But at the same time, that kind of takes RWAs out of the equation because you can sell treasury bonds on lithium, period.
So coming back to ChangeNOW, if we talk about the perspective of the organization in changing market, you know, this is my 5th edition of Token2049. I mean, across Dubai and Singapore. And I have seen there's a diagonal change or maybe a paradigm shift in the kind of projects coming up. Earlier, it was more memes. Everybody was building something, gaming projects coming up big time. Now, there are more projects which are trying to solve the real life use cases. The VC investments earlier were what I used to call them visiting card VCs. So everybody was a VC holding a visiting card. But now structured investment has started coming in. And people are talking about profitability. People are talking about preparing the books of account of the project.
Finally.
So with this shift coming up, from ChangeNOW's perspective, what have you seen over the ages and how are you dealing with this change? And in the times to come, what is your strategy towards this changing paradigm in the market?
I mean, the industry is finally maturing, and that is very nice to see because up until like this summer, things were crazy with Pump.Fun kind of being in the spotlight, not in a good way. And to see like the space purging itself of that is certainly a delight. And for us, our business, like either ours specifically or our partners' business, hasn't gone down in the slightest. We're still growing and we will be continuing to grow. The most important thing is pivoting towards real world value that we can bring to our customers. And I'm not talking about RWAs.
Real life use cases.
Yes, real life use cases, which are going to be like investment in Bitcoin or any other altcoins. I mean, we see treasury companies starting to stockpile Ethereum. They stockpile BNB, if I'm not mistaken, and a few other altcoins. We see stablecoins again, like tearing the market up, which is payments. Again, some people do theirs like with unstable national currencies. They do have their savings in USDT. And
there are CBDCs as well.
And CBDCs, and we are already like doing a lot of market research on CBDCs and what's going to happen. For now, it's kind of unclear still. Like we see like Singapore doing CBDCs, China saying that they're doing CBDCs, Korea saying they're doing CBDCs.
India has already started.
Yes, like in a lot of other countries. And our main goal has never been about, you know, concentrating on any like particular asset or asset class or chain. What we are doing is providing the infrastructure for any project that wants to interact with us and for any person who wants to interact with us, and allowing those projects and people choose the way they want to interact with crypto. Our job is to make it as easy, safe, and secure as we possibly can.
So easy is one thing, that is the UI UX part. Secure is something that I would like to talk about. With ChangeNOW, how seriously do you deal with security perspective? How secured you yourself are?
Well,
I mean, I'll tell you where I'm coming from.
Yes, of course.
FTX dug their own grave. But there have been 2 recent hacks in the Indian exchanges. WazirX for like 345 million. CoinDCX for like 44 million. So we are all gung-ho about how the security is moving ahead, because assets are at risk, and since there's no asset backing, there's no insurance for these things. The user's fund is always at stake here. So that is a concern that we want to be addressed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a very good question. And first of all, we are mostly non-custodial. So our clients we do have a custody that does conform to the ISO standards and is highly protected by ways that I'm not allowed to disclose. But a very significant part of our business is non-custodial. So for example, if somebody wants to swap with us, all they need to do is send us only the part that they would want to exchange. We take it, we swap, and then we send it back. So basically, we don't really function like a centralized exchange where you need to, you're obligated to make a deposit in order to be able to trade. We don't do it. Our users are doing their own custody. And whether they're using the platform directly or they're using it in one of our partner wallets like Bitcoin.com, Trezor, Exodus, Edge, so on and so forth. One other part that I would like to kind of emphasize is we've been on the market for 8 years. We have 8 million of users. We have more than 350 partners. And what we're doing is we're getting money back to people who were scammed. Through the 8 years of our existence, we haven't lost a cent.
That's fair. So being the chief strategy officer for the project, this is for the founders and the builders, not for the community by and large. What is the essence? What is the primary concern in your mind when you sit on your desk every day in the morning and when you think about devising something new? What is the thing that takes the paramount place in your mind before forming or changing any strategy?
My vice is that I'm very obsessed with retail.
With?
I'm very obsessed with retail.
Retail, okay.
Yes. So I'm always trying to make sure that whether it's our clients or our partners' clients, and my main point is to make our platform as accessible to all of those parts as possible. That includes working on speed, working on reliability, working on service availability, and most of all, most importantly, working on support. And for example, our support team works 24/7. Our average response time across all of our projects is 3 minutes. And the resolution rate is, if I'm not mistaken, the most recent one is 99.5%.
That's right.
Yes.
That's huge by any standards.
So our team, whether it be support or customer success. So the support is the one that works with B2C. Customer success department is the guys that work with B2B. All of them are obsessed, and we make sure of that, on making sure that anybody who has ever interacted with ChangeNOW makes them happy. And for example, our Trustpilot score, again, something that we take very seriously. It's been 4.5 along more than 12,000 reviews, and it's never gone lower than that.
That's great. That's good to know these things. So from the industry perspective, let me ask you, where do you see the industry going, say, in a year or so? So we have discussed RWS, we have discussed stablecoins, but in general?
I think we're going to be seeing, again, something is going to happen to RWAs, whether I'm seeing it as a 50-50 chance, whether the industry is going to collapse entirely or... Yes.
Okay.
Because NFTs did, right? Everybody was thinking the NFTs were the best thing since sliced bread, right? And now they're more of an outcast of the industry. So whether it's going to be the NFT route, because of lack of regulations or the inability of governments across the world to impose regulations, or the inability of the industry to self-regulate, or they're going to come up with something and we're going to be like trading Google stock on Binance, because that could happen. Again, we're going to see even more stablecoin adoption because globalization is going to happen in one way or another. We're going to see individuals moving across countries and needing to move their capital in between those countries without having to turn to banking. Companies are starting to embrace stablecoins because stablecoin transfers are instant and they're much cheaper than anything in the TradFi world. And I'm probably I think we're going to have the secret third thing that people haven't really come up with yet. There's one more thing. I think crypto cards are going to become a lot more widespread because this is something that a lot of people have been needing.
Adoption.
Yes, because that's adoption. And right now, the on and off ramping experience is still first of all, it's very expensive. Second of all, it's very unwieldy. So a lot of people are still doing P2P these days. It's very unreliable, even coming from bigger exchanges like Binance or KuCoin OKX.
You've seen FTX.
You know it, right? So I think crypto cards are going to become that much more widespread because the technology is here. It's already available. I mean, I've been using a crypto card for the past 2.5 years because I do live in crypto and I use it everywhere. I don't have to off-ramp because the card does it for me. It's in my phone, it's in my Apple Pay, so I can pay it anywhere. I can pay with it anywhere, and it tops up in 3 seconds. Why isn't it
easy?
Yeah. I mean, we did have quite a lot of crypto cards made by European companies, but there was a licensing issue. But now, Hong Kong is pioneering everything, and Singapore is too. So we've got...
Needless to say, Dubai.
And Dubai as well, yeah. We've got Interlace. I use Interlace cards with different services all the time. What the hell? Everyone needs one. I've pitched the idea to our management recently when we worked with X. So who knows?
So guys, pretty exciting insights, pretty much of a deep tech thought that we have discussed here. This is Polly, the Chief Strategy Officer for ChangeNOW. They're actually going to make a change happen. And one more thing that is more pertinent to discuss here is that having a perspective in the industry in the times to come is of utmost importance. And that is what I could see a reflection of in Polly. So, if you know where industry is going to go, if you know where you are going to go, then you have a clear path to travel, a clear way to go to the distance. And that is where probably ChangeNOW is going to go in the times to come. So good luck with your venture. That is one thing. And thank you so much for being on CoinGabbar. Thank you so much. And we'll hope to meet again soon with some new exciting announcements from ChangeNOW. And we would like to be updated about what ChangeNOW is doing in the times to come. With this is Sudeep from CoinGabbar, reporting live from Token2049. And we'll keep coming back to you with some more interesting stuff and insights. Till then, thank you so much. Bye-bye.